In this episode, make sure you get to the charger. The best and worst of SEMA 2022 and the great Ferrari debate. Welcome to episode 136 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rowell, you, my friend, have an iPhone.
I do.
I have a Google Pixel.
Yes, I have an iPhone because I'm a simpleton.
That's fine. You're in the Apple ecosystem. That's okay. The problem is, our phones. You cannot charge your phone with the same cable I use to charge my phone.
Correct.
And vice versa. I cannot use your Apple charger, the lightning cable is what it's called, to charge my phone.
Yes, because I am not uncultured swine.
Sure.
Kidding, kind of.
When me and you go to the petrol station, the gas station, I can use the same device to put fuel in my car, the fuel nozzle.
Yes.
With your car and my car.
Yes, for a second there, I thought you were going to say you could use the same fuel. And I was going to say, well, are you 87 octane or 93? And that's another discussion to get into.
That's different. I'm talking about the device to insert the energy into the vehicle.
Correct.
That is the same. Let me ask you this. Should our phones be the same as our cars? Should it be one universal cable to charge our phones?
It would make things easier.
Yes.
But just because I'm a bit difficult, no.
Okay. Let me give you a different reason for no.
Okay.
Currently, there's legislation that has gone through in the EU, the European Union, that is forcing Apple or anyone that is making a device that is in a long list of like headphones, phones, anything like that, to mandate that they use USB Type-C to charge the device. Now, the USB is the universal serial bus, and the USB Type-C is a standard for the universal serial bus. It's a little charging cable, kind of looks like a pill shape, essentially. The problem with that is that now a government of some old gentlemen over in the EU have decided that is the standard that we are going to use. And the biggest problem with that is now that there is no innovation that will be allowed, at least for X amount of years that this law is in order.
I don't like it when government tells you what you can and can't do.
I don't either. But I also don't think that Apple should be creating a charger that is inferior. It doesn't actually do anything better than USB-C, just to sell more of them and make more revenue.
Why not?
It is the free market way to do it, but it is also somewhat inconvenient for everybody.
Then don't buy an Apple product.
I agree. That is the way to do it. But once you're in their ecosystem, you can't really get out.
I mean, it's a free world.
I would like to see you try to use my phone for a week, and I use yours for a week.
So I will say, many years ago, when my iPhone died, I did use an Android for 2 or 3 weeks. God, I hated it so much. I hated everything about the way things moved and the way the fingers typed on the keyboard. Oh my God, it was so uncomfortable for me.
That's fine.
I'm so used to the way that Apple does things now.
Yes. You don't want to learn the other way to do it, and that's
correct. It's like I don't want to learn how to drive an EV.
It's like how some people don't want to learn how to drive a manual.
You.
It's true, though.
Don't you do that. Don't
it's true.
That. It's not very nice, Derek.
Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make here is in the EV world we're coming up to, there are currently, I think that there's 2 different chargers that are being sorted out right now. And I don't want to see us go down the path where we mandate that everybody uses the CCS charger, which is what most use currently.
Is that what Tesla uses?
No. They have.
So hold on just a second. I'm already seeing a parallel here.
Yes.
So you've got Tesla is Apple.
Yes.
And everyone else is Android.
Yes. And it's only a matter of time until the EU and the European Union and the old gentlemen over there decide to put a law in place, and Tesla has to abide by it if they want to sell their cars over there. So, is the CCS charger, and CCS stands for Combined Charging System, is that the universal charger for EVs? For most manufacturers, it is right now.
Does Tesla sell enough cars in the EU for it to matter?
Yes.
Because what I'm really hoping is that if that's the case, then Tesla just says, okay, we won't do business with governments that want to overreach. Goodbye. I will stay in free market America. Go pound sand, you grumpy old men in Europe.
That would be a very Elon thing to do, wouldn't it?
I would love to see him do that. And you don't get to be on Twitter anymore. Not only are you going to make me do this, I'm going to kick you off Twitter. Boom. Take that.
GM, Toyota, Volkswagen, you're gone.
Suck it. Suck it.
No. I suspect that very soon we're going to get some regulation. When I say very soon, within the next couple of years, we'll get regulation to mandate a specific charger for all EV, which I think is a good thing and a bad thing all at the same time. It's the same concept. You're ruining the innovation. You're mandating it for X number of years. It's good for the consumer, I think, for the short term, but not in the long term.
Could be.
Yes. And also getting that changed. Oh, you want to get anything changed in politics, it is a disaster. And it will take 5 to 7 years to do.
Correct.
We'll see how this goes. I do think you should try to use an Android, though. You would find it not as bad as you think anymore.
I hated it when I did use it.
Slowly, all of the systems that do the same thing are starting to just, hey, they do that really well. Let's take what they do really well over there. And the other people are doing it the same way. So it's starting to become the same thing.
You know, it's really funny. What you just said right there reminds me of a conversation that you and I had, 2 hours earlier when we were eating. Mm-hmm. YouTube has become exactly like Facebook, exactly like Instagram, exactly like Twitter, exactly like TikTok. They're all doing the same thing.
All the social media platforms, all the hardware, even computers are just slowly becoming the same. It doesn't matter if you have a Mac or a PC or whatever. Everybody just uses browsers and apps, and that's it. Yes. We'll see where this goes.
Interesting.
Yes.
So let's move on then, shall we?
Sure.
So this past week, there was a big show, or I guess week and a half now, whatever it was, not too long ago. There was a big show called the SEMA Show, the Specialty Equipment Manufacturer Association show, right? So it's, 4 or 5, maybe 6 days long worth of every aftermarket thing you could think of putting on a car getting built and shown. Like all of the most insane, wild builds in the world come out there. And I thought it'd be a little fun to do just a quick scroll through some pictures we found online of some of the I'm going to call them the bests and the worsts of SEMA.
Oh boy.
So this is all just opinionated of what I like and what I don't like.
That's fine. Let's take a look.
So we'll just kind of scroll through this this first little web page here. There's like all sorts of weird, unconventional things. Someone made like a cart thing. There was a Tesla that looks like this is actually a Pikes Peak entrant.
Yes.
Right? So there's just everything, right?
A time of 11 minutes and 6 seconds.
Which again is just stupid quick. There is this crazy drift truck, this drift Honda Ridgeline. Thing's wild. It's just insane. They put an IndyCar motor in it.
Wow.
There's these wild giant side-by-sides that are lifted on huge tires. There's like weird like lowered cannon. There's just everything you can think of. Then there was, I think, as a contender for one of my favorites, is this mint green car. Can you tell what it is?
Is this an RX-7? It looks like an RX-7.
It is an RX-7 with many more cylinders.
You got it. Okay, so this is a It's not even oh, this is a disaster. The name of RX means that it's a rotary, so you got to remove that bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's got a lot of pistons. It's 12 pistons, isn't it?
That's a V12.
Oh God.
That's an FD RX-7 with, from what I understand, is a Pagani V12 in it. Oh my God, I want one of those. Yes.
That is the most SEMA thing ever.
It's amazing.
Just, what's the most ridiculous thing you can think? Rip the rotary out, put the biggest engine from Pagani that we can find in it.
There you go.
Great. Send
Problem
to
solved.
SEMA.
Yeah. And you got Hoonigan has a like barnyard pit where you just roast tires. There's this may be a contender for worst, for at least in terms of looks. Like it looks ridiculous, those wheels, but it is apparently an autocross car. That truck that we're looking at, pretty wild. Not a huge fan of wide body 997 Porsches. I guess it's not horrible. Liberty Walk does the wide bodyingness or rough wheel RWB, right? Mm-hmm. He's another wide body person. Then there's even a Subaru BRZ or a GT86 that's a drift car. There's this weird, like, I don't know, cyber kart thing. That's another worst build for me.
2026 DeLorean F1 team.
No, that's a joke. That was built by B is for Build. I think it's awful.
Wow.
I think it's horrible. There's just all sorts of crazy stuff. And there's this, going a little further, there's a Corvette down a little lower. It's got a body kit that makes it look like a Di Tommaso Pantera.
Yeah. That's what it looks like.
Which, I don't know.
That's wild.
I don't know if I like that.
It's not. Okay. Yeah.
So that's one article that has some different things. And there's this next one that's got an awful Supra, which I think is not good. And a Lightning with a really cool 4Runner in the background. Looks like some pretty wild stuff. Now that Ferrari, we need to talk about that.
Okay.
You know what's in it? What kind of engine it's got?
Mm-mm.
It's got a Honda engine. It's got a K24 in it.
A K24?
Yes. So it's a Honda engine. It's mental.
Why would you do that?
Because it's SEMA.
True.
Because it's SEMA. Because it's another case of, what's going to make the internet explode? Let's put a K-series. Let's K-swap a Ferrari.
Wow.
I love it.
I know people.
I like that one a lot.
People K-swap into anything. I've seen K-swap 911s, K-swap Z4s, whatever.
K-swap Noble lives locally here.
Really?
Yeah, I've got a ride in it.
That's cool.
I got a ride in a track day K-swapped Noble.
That's neat.
It's wild. This may be a contender for worst.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
No.
What are we looking at?
This is a WRX that is slammed and fender flared and oof.
Look at the wing. That might be a contender for worst.
Huh.
That right now is top 3 worst for me.
Yeah. Wow.
Don't like that. Okay, here's a hot take. I think the C8 only looks good when it's been wide-bodied.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
I don't like the C... What's that?
Is the C8R a little wider?
Do you mean the Z06 or the race car?
The Z06 is what I meant. You're right.
A little bit.
Okay. This is real wide.
Yes.
This is straight up wide body kit applied to the fenders.
But I think a C8 only looks good if it's been made wider.
It's not terrible, but it's starting to remind me of wide body Ferrari. What was the body kit that you were just talking about?
Liberty Walk.
Yeah.
There's gives me more those Liberty Walk cars, but I don't know. And that is, I believe, a Liberty Walk kit on the C8.
Okay.
But it just, I don't know. I feel like the regular C8 needs something. And I feel like that's what it needs. It needs more hips.
I mean, it's trying to be a Ferrari, so. We've gone in depth on that many times.
We have.
Let's just move on.
We have. This is one of my favorite builds.
That's cool.
It's an off-road 911,
That is cool.
full carbon.
And that looks very well done.
And I've actually seen videos from the shop that built this. That thing takes like 10-foot jumps.
The body's full carbon?
Yep.
Holy moly.
No, it's maybe one of my favorite cars there.
Wow.
How
That's super
sick is that Baja 911?
That's
It
super
is
cool.
so good.
Yeah.
So good. Don't like that. No, not for me. I'm not huge on the mini trucks.
No.
I don't really like that either.
It's just that's Z culture. That's fine.
But that's not a Z.
That's
That's your car, dude.
is it? Oh,
Yeah.
it is. You're right. You're right. It is an FRS BRZ.
So it's got
Wow.
all that with no power.
Man, that actually stumped me. Remember how we were saying that the new Z and the new FRS look exactly the same?
Yeah.
That got me. I
Yeah.
legitimately thought that was a Z.
Yeah. It's not. I do like the wing, though. I like the swan neck wing.
Yeah. That's fine. There's a culture for the stance thing. That's fine.
Now we're talking.
Whoa.
So that is a Python Green 992 GT3 on, I believe those are race wheels. So they are, or are they Advans? Pardon me. Either way, they are JDM wheels on a German car, and I love Japanese wheels on a German car.
I don't really like that.
Oh,
to be
you're
honest.
crazy. You're crazy.
I don't really understand the appeal of the Japanese on German. If it's
I like
German,
it.
just keep the
I like it.
911 wheels are
I
fine.
like it a lot. I like it a lot.
All right, that's fine.
I do.
The BRZ next to it's sweet.
It is. There you go. Okay, cool old Civic there.
Yep.
Yeah. There
This
it is.
is-
See, there it is. There
Yeah,
it is on the Advan GTs. Mm-hmm. Like that. I like that
Doesn't
a
work.
lot.
Doesn't work for me.
Oh, you're crazy. You are crazy.
That's
So would
the
that be one of
magic.
your worsts? One of your worst builds?
I wouldn't say that.
It's just not one of your favorites.
No.
Okay.
If you change the wheels out for something that are a little better, I think it's great. But the wheels kind of don't really do it for me. And that's all opinion, right?
It is.
That's half the fun of this show
yes.
is the opinion of looking at all of these cars.
Correct.
Yes.
You really like that Civic, don't you?
No, I just went back.
Oh.
No.
Wow. That's very low rider.
Yes, but I will say, look at all the art in the detail.
That is
went into
artistic as hell.
Oh,
I don't have the patience to go through. You can see the pinstriping on the inner wheel well.
yes.
On the firewall.
Yeah. Goodness gracious.
That's insane. So there's a Liberty Walk wide body Lamborghini Huracan. I absolutely hate the wheels.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to wide body a Lamborghini, you wide body a Huracan. The Aventador does not work as a wide body.
I'll agree with that.
I still wouldn't buy a wide body Huracan, but the only Lamborghinis, in my opinion, that really work wide body are Huracans, not Aventadors. It's too much on an Aventador.
What's your take on painting on in the front the look of speed?
Nah,
You see what I'm saying?
I see.
The
like
airbrushing.
The airbrushing on the rivets and stuff, or the
Yeah.
wrap or whatever it is. Not my favorite, but I don't hate it.
I'm kind of the same. I think it kind of does work on this. And it does give the illusion of speed.
It does. It's not my favorite, but I don't hate it.
It really works at SEMA.
At SEMA, that's what works. Cars and Coffee.
It doesn't work.
What does the guy that shows up to Cars and Coffee look like that drives this?
He's probably not my best friend.
Oh, that's a really nicely done new Z. Oh, that yellow looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
And then look at the ugly Subaru just next to it with the horrible fenders, the boxy. Ooh. Let's see more JDM TE37s. TE37, the world. A wide body Supra. Don't like that. I do like the wide body BMW beside it though.
Yep.
Yeah. What else we got here? Another front on face shot of it.
Mhm.
I like the BMW. I don't like that. Oh, there we go. GT86 or AE86. Pardon me.
That is an old
your car's granddaddy.
Yep.
Right.
That's cool.
Very nice. I don't really like GTRs that are on air. A Liberty Walk wide body on air GTR.
It seems like this is the Liberty Walk show, huh?
It's aftermarket. If it's aftermarket, it's where you go.
Do they dominate the aftermarket
If you're doing
Body
wide
kit?
body, they are one of the main ones. Yeah,
Okay.
that's cool. I like that.
Those motorcycles
Are electric. Yes,
Apparently, those things are supposed to rip.
I've heard.
Yeah,
But I like the patina,
that does look really good.
and I like how they carried the patina onto the motorcycles.
Yep, looks really good.
That's pretty cool. Oh, cool Z.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's neat.
pretty wild. Oh, there's that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that like that Di Tommaso Pantera wide body looking Corvette thing.
I didn't see the air intakes on the top. That's neat.
Oh no, those are open headers.
Or you're right.
Yeah.
Yes, the open headers.
Those are wild. Oh, another old Fairlady Z. I like that. I like that a lot. That's just clean.
That is cool.
That's just clean. New Z
Mm-hmm.
E36 BMW wide body. Meh. Yeah. Oh, there's my RX-7 RX-12 thing.
Yes, it is. This thing's a monster.
Wild. It's just wild. Look at the thing. Oh, I love
SEMA
that.
is all over the place.
Look at the actual the build craftsmanship there.
Yeah.
God, that's beautiful.
Headers are a work of art. on
That's
that
just
engine.
beautiful. You just wouldn't even want to have a hood. I just want to show that off. That's gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah. That's super cool.
Holy cow. There's that slammed old patinaed pickup truck. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. I like that. It's like an old Blazer or something.
Is it a Blazer?
I think so.
Okay. I was going to say, it's a little long for a Jeep, so it's got to be a Blazer.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Big fan of that off-road stuff. More artistic pinstriping stuff. Yeah, another Blazer. Sick. Okay. Not really a fan of that. A Camaro, not really my cup of tea. And, a McLaren P1 on BBS LMs wrapped in like a chroma flare.
Wow.
That's nuts.
Holy
dude.
moly.
Good Lord. That looks like a dragged out Toyota 4Runner with some swap.
That's a
That
wild wrap.
P1, dude. That's just nuts. Okay. Cheat on him is the grill that is what that says on that F250.
Nice.
Okay. Now
is-
it looks like we have gotten into the bro dozers.
yeah. I was about to say, there's a big truck turnout, huh?
Oh, SEMA's huge for trucks.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Look at that all carbon GTR.
That's super clean.
I like that too.
Man, I'd love to drive that.
Yeah, that might be another one of my like top 3, top 5s.
And it's right-hand drive. Yes.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Look at the engine bay. Look at the carbon.
How do they keep an engine so spotless?
I don't know.
Goodness.
I just don't know. There's
That's
more.
wild.
Oh, I like that car a lot.
That is super clean.
An old R32. Yeah, very good.
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about the green BMW on the left. You know what that is?
No.
That's an old BMW M5.
Okay.
You know what engine it's got?
A big one.
Uh-huh. A real big one. It's got the V10 out of the later BMW M5. They
Didn't think it
actually did the same thing to the silver E30 M3 just down the way. That's sick.
Didn't think it was that big.
Yeah, they put that M5 V10 into that old M5 and the old M3.
Jeez.
I like that old M3 with the V10 in it.
That's a big engine for that car.
Just how wild is that?
That is Jeremy Clarkson all over it.
It's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, cool stuff with the BMWs there.
Yeah, that is neat.
And then,
Dang.
yeah, there they are. I like that. I like that a lot. So that's a Veal side wide body RX-7. Don't like the Veal sides. I think they've always ruined the RX-7. I know it's like a super sought after wide body, but I hate it. I hate it.
So is that a competitor to the...
That's actually like the OG wide body.
Oh.
Like that is Veal side wide body kits for RX-7s have been around since like the original Fast and Furious days.
Ah. Okay.
And I've never liked them.
Neat.
I've just never liked them. Another R32 GTR, two big spoolie boys in the back of that Huracan.
Twin turb skis.
Sheesh. There's a drifted out GR86.
Mm-hmm.
More slam trucks. There's
Yep.
just all sorts of cool stuff. I hate the new WRX.
Ooh,
That's awful.
Yikes. That's
Awful. There's that new Z. That just looks really good. Look at that old 930.
That's clean.
Yes, very good. What else we got? I got some
Okay.
more. There's that same Huracan. Another E30 M3. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. So far, what's been your favorite now that we've scrolled through a bunch?
I really like these R32s.
Do
Not
you?
gonna lie. Yeah, I think that does it for me. It's right-hand drive, the full carbon one that had the fantastic engine bay. That really does it for me.
So right now your top is that full carbon
I
R32?
think so. You?
Ooh, okay. So I would say, I'd say right up there at my top is probably going to be, well, that's the Pikes Peak car. That's Pikes Peak GT3R. So obviously that's up there for me. But I'd say right now, gosh, there's so many good ones. There's that V12 swapped RX-7.
Oh my goodness.
There's the Baja 911, which
That's
is
an air-cooled, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's the Baja 911, which I really liked. There's the V10 swapped M3 and M5. Those are both really good. Then there's that full carbon R32 that we were talking about, which I loved.
Whoa. What are these kits? These are wide body.
Liberty Walk.
They're Liberty Walks?
Liberty Walk, Aventador, and then a Huracan. The Huracan looks better than the Aventador, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I would just say right now, I'm thinking it's probably the V12 RX-7.
Okay, the green one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just because that's just so bonkers
That was pretty wild.
that I can't not love it.
Yeah, you can see it in the background there.
Yeah.
That is a super cool car.
Yeah, so that's one of my favorites.
So I guess if you make an aftermarket part for a car, or you're into aftermarket engine stuffs or wraps or whatnot, you find the craziest thing that you can wrap, put on, most fancy car you got, and take it to SEMA.
Yeah, sounds like it.
And that's just the business model.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right. Interesting.
Pretty wild, right?
Yep.
So shall we get into some car spots? What I've
Sure.
seen around town, what you've seen around town?
Sure.
So I'll go first.
All right.
Okay. My wife and I, we just celebrated an anniversary just the other day, and we went out to dinner, and we were walking around going out to dinner. I looked over, and I heard a very rumbly SUV. And I thought, that's quite a grumble from a big white SUV.
Let me guess. Juke R.
Not quite. It was a Cadillac, though. It was the new Cadillac Escalade V. So we talked about this a long time ago when they announced it.
Whoa.
I saw one in the flesh, and I heard it.
Wow.
And I got to admit, I kind of like it.
Really?
Just because of what it is. It's a giant SUV. It weighs over 6,200 pounds. It's huge.
6,000.
And it doesn't even have an electric battery to make it weigh so heavy. It's
boy.
just enormous.
It does look beefy.
It's just enormous. It's got the giant supercharged V8 in it.
Okay.
It's got 682 horsepower.
Oh, boy.
It does 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds.
What? What?
It's a school bus that does 0 to 60
What?
in 4.3 seconds. It weighs 6,300 pounds.
What the heck?
It's just huge.
Wow.
I saw one in the flesh, and I was like, wow, it's completely ridiculous, and that's why I want 8 of them.
Oh, my goodness. And it sounded great.
It did. It sounded like a Corvette going by. I was like, wow, that sounds... Wait a minute.
Huh.
Wait a minute.
Like an old Corvette?
Like a C7.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
a C8, but a C7.
Yep.
It's mental.
That's
it
awesome.
makes no logical sense to any reason for why of anything at all, but I love it.
Nope, it never will.
It's got
But
like
that's fine.
it's almost 700 horsepower. It weighs 6,300 pounds. When you put 5 humans in it, you're at 7,000 pounds.
Jeez.
This is with humans. It's a 7,000 pound SUV that'll do 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds.
What a monster.
What a beast of a thing!
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
That is
Yeah.
Secret Service written all over it.
100%. But yeah, so that was one of my spots. But my spot of the week goes to a group of cars, and I want to still get your opinion on this. So this past weekend, there was an event that I missed, and I caught some cars leaving it, so I'm going to claim them as car spots because I wasn't actually near the event at all. They must have just been buddies that rolled in together. There was a Ferrari event this past weekend. So I saw a group of Ferraris running together. I saw, first things first, a Ferrari F430 Scuderia in silver. It's very similar to the spec we're seeing. And that was the first thing that caught my eye. And I went, ooh, yes. And then the car following it was a Ferrari 458 Spider. Very similar spec, red, black wheels. Right? And then following it up was a Ferrari F8 Tributo in black. And I had to just think. So you've got 3 eras of Ferrari there.
Oh, boy.
And which one do you take?
I see where this is going. Oh, boy.
You can choose between an F430 Scuderia, a 458, and an F8.
To be honest, I would not go the F8.
Me neither.
It would be between the 458 and the 430. And I think with the spec that you saw, I love the 430, but I don't think I would do the gray. I think I would stick with the Ferrari red. Man. I think I'd go 458.
Okay.
How about you?
A 430 Scuderia.
Even in the gray?
I honestly wouldn't even have to think about it.
In the gray.
In the gray. I love it in silver. So I currently own a silver car.
Yep.
Right, so silver speaks a little more to me.
But that blends in.
But not to me, it doesn't.
I agree. To me and you, it does not blend in. But to our parents, that blends in.
That's fine.
Is that fine?
For me, yeah. There's something about the lines of the 430 that I like more than the lines of the 458.
I agree with you. I like the lines of the 430 better. But I would... This is your quintessential Ferrari.
But
this is not.
Because it's red?
It's got the same... It has some of the same lines, not all of them. But yes, I think that the color does play a big role.
See, I like the 430 more than I like the 458.
The 430 will be a more fun vehicle to drive. I can guarantee it.
They're both naturally aspirated. They're both V8s.
Okay.
The 458 was the last naturally aspirated V8 Ferrari produced with its like regular production, right?
I feel like the 430 will be a more driver... How do I say this? Will give you more of a pure driving experience.
More of a purist, right?
Yes, than the 458 will.
Probably right.
The 458 is in the territory of the computer trickery.
I still got to say, the looks of them, I still think the look of the 430 is better than the 458 in my eye.
And then you have this.
The Tributo is fine. It's fine, but it doesn't make me go, oh. It doesn't melt my heart.
No.
I look at the Tributo and I think, it's cool. It's very slippery looking. It's got some very beautiful, voluptuous hips. But it's still just, to me, the F430, especially the Scuderia.
I feel like the Tributo is Ferrari edging and edging and edging closer to McLaren.
A little bit.
It's just they're slowly moving there.
A little bit.
I don't want them to go all the way there. And I don't think that this is all the way there. But they're edging there. And I want them to kind of remember that this is great Ferrari.
Like the slopiness of the front of the 430, the 4 taillights versus the 2 taillights of the 458. There's just
You give me one of those in red, and it's pure perfect. Pure perfect.
I remember when I was a kid, I went to one of the Ferrari events on St. Armand Circle. And I remember walking around, and I remember looking at the 430 Scuderia and just thinking, it's one of the best cars that I've ever seen in my life. And it's always held that prestige in my eyes.
Yep.
I love it so much. So that's my spot of the week. Ferrari F430 Scuderia.
That is a great one.
I think so too. Have you seen anything?
I have. So I saw when me and my wife were having dinner the other day. Past me drove, I got to see the very back edge of a black car go past. And I was like, You know when you see just the quarter panel of a car and you're like, well, it's either A, B, or C.
Yeah.
And you know it's one of those, but you don't know which one.
Yep. I must inspect.
Yes. I saw the quarter panel of an Aston Martin. Oh. When it went past me, it was one of the new ones. I think it was the Vantage. When it went past me, I was like, ooh, that's either an Aston or it could be like a Z sort of thing. But I'm pretty sure it's an Aston. And it came by, and sure enough, it was a black Vantage, and it was fantastic. It made a
Love
great
that.
sound. But that's not my car spot. My car spot goes to something I saw in the parking lot, and it was the other Rivian.
Oh.
Now, last week, I saw an R1T, which is the truck. But this week, I saw an R1S.
You know what's really funny? Is you went so long without seeing them,
So
and
long.
now you've seen them back to back.
2 in 2 weeks. Easy.
It's like fish in a barrel for you.
Yes, it is. But I got to see a green Rivian R1S, so not this blue color that we're looking at. And I think it's either forest green or a different
Was
color.
it launch green or forest green?
I don't know.
So if it was okay, I have to know.
Okay.
Was it the darker, a little bit more metallic green, or was it the more army flat green? Not matte, but flat.
Feeling like
Like
it was more
non-metallic.
flat.
So then that would be launch green.
Okay.
If it was the more, a little bit darker, richer green, that would have been the forest green.
All right. I think it was the flat, so I think it was which one was it?
Launch green.
Launch green.
There you
Yes,
go.
that one. But what stuck out to me is this thing is pretty big.
It's not small.
It's not small at all. It was in an awkward parking space where it was like around a corner and they had painted lines that were massive. And it was taking up the majority of the massive parking space. And I was like, I wonder if that would fit in a normal parking space. Oh boy.
Makes
Couple
you wonder.
stats about it. Horsepower numbers, it is a full EV. So these numbers are usually pretty bonkers. This does have some crazy numbers.
Yeah.
753 horsepower
That's
with
a lot.
826 pound-feet of torque.
It's a lot.
Your 0 to 60 is better than your Cadillac, 3 seconds.
Yeah, I would imagine it's an EV, right? You got to get to your charger quickly.
It's not far off the weight numbers from your Cadillac, though. 5,800 pounds.
That's 1,000 pounds off. No,
Yes.
it's not. Pardon me. It's 500 and change.
It's not that far off.
You're right. It's not that far off.
But to go 0 to 60 in 3 seconds as opposed to 4.2 it was, I think.
4.3.
Yeah, so it's pretty close. But when you're incrementing those down, each tenth does make a bigger difference.
It does.
The percentage. The battery capacity. Now remember, we talked about the Hummer EV a couple episodes back.
Yeah,
and that was
ridiculous amount of capacity.
200 kilowatt hours, around there.
Big.
This has 135 kilowatt hours.
Not as big.
Not as big.
Still big, but not as big.
Right. A Tesla Model 3 is around 80 kilowatt hours. And your range on this is around 316 miles.
That's not enough. I thought the R1T was almost 400.
I think the R1T, the best package you could get was around 400 miles.
Ooh, why is the R1S so much less?
I'm not exactly sure. I think it would come down to aerodynamics. That's my best guess.
Because it's shaped more like a brick?
I think so. But I do think that this would be a great round town vehicle. It's definitely not a take the family across states vehicle.
Correct.
Yes. I did not happen to get a price, but I think it's like 130 grand.
It's
or
about
something.
this. I'm sure it's competitive in price once you spec it to the Cadillac Escalade V, which is about 150.
Yes.
So
yeah.
it's not cheap.
No.
Not cheap at all, in my opinion.
But regardless, it is a cool vehicle to see. Apparently, price starts at 72 grand, which is actually lower than I thought.
It's way lower.
Yeah. But first one I've seen, I bet you we will see more around here.
Interesting.
Yes.
Well, happy you got to see one, even though I still hate them.
That's just fine.
So, ready to move on?
Sure.
Okay, let's move on to I Wish They Would Have.
All right.
In that case, how about you go first? What do you wish they would have for this episode?
So, as I kicked it off with our conversation around USB-C and charging and all of that stuff, I wish that in the future we would either standardize the chargers or start forcing more cars to go from the car to the grid or car to home. So the charging backwards, right?
Yeah.
I think that should become a standard. And one of the reasons I think that should become one is because that would, in theory, reinforce the power grid like it's never been possible to before.
Yeah, because our power grid already right now is not great.
it's very vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And one way to solve that problem would be to have in everybody's driveway a battery pack that could charge your home or keep your home running for 3 to 4 days.
Sure, makes sense.
And if you can go backward, that means when a whole bunch of power grid stuff goes down, you just reroute energy and start pulling from the cars, and bam, problem solved.
That does make sense.
It makes sense from an infrastructure standpoint. I am very curious to see if that's going to become a mandated law thing soon.
Yeah. I see what you mean. I think that's a good idea to get them to be able to do that. I wish you could do that with an ICE car, but I digress.
That would be odd.
It would, but it'd be really cool.
It's not quite possible. Would be neat.
Agree.
So what do you got?
Yeah, let me tell you. My wish that would have is tearing at my heartstrings here. My wish that would have is I wish that Volkswagens had the reliability of a Toyota.
Uh-oh. That means one thing.
What does that mean?
That means you're having reliability problems, aren't you?
God damn it. This fucking car, man. Holy cow.
Now, it was just in the shop.
Jesus Christ, don't remind me.
It was just in the shop.
Don't remind me.
What happened this time?
I don't know. I've been so busy and I haven't had time to actually get the code scanned. But
Did your radiator spring leak again?
no, fluids are still there.
Okay.
It's
Good
got
sign.
coolant. It's got oil. It's fine. I have a check engine light. Not a maintenance required soon, but an actual check engine light.
Have you pulled the codes?
Not yet. I haven't had time. I haven't been able to. I don't have VagCom and all that to be able to see accurately what codes it are. Because AutoZone, the scanners there, won't actually tell you what a Volkswagen's codes are. They
Really?
just give, you need like actual VagCom.
Did not know that.
It's annoying. I wish Volkswagens were as reliable as Toyota. Car still runs fine. It feels, it sounds, it smells. It's not consuming oil. It's fine. It's just annoying.
If you have a Toyota or a Honda, just keep fluids in it. They'll run forever. They will just run forever.
My car is still running fine. Knock on wood and everything and you and all the things. But God damn it, man. This car.
I'm very curious to know what your codes will be.
I love it. But what is wrong with you? Show me your secrets. I've been nothing but nice to the thing. I had cruise control. I was going down the highway. I wasn't flying. I was just being nice to it.
I don't know.
Why are you doing this to me, car? Just Volkswagen things, I suppose.
The German engineering.
This little light of mine.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Yeah, so that's my wish. I wish Volkswagens were as really reliable as Toyota.
I think you could say that for any other manufacturer.
Yes, but for me specifically, I wish Volkswagens were as reliable as a Toyota.
Yes.
So that's all I got. You got anything else for episode 136?
I do not.
All right, well, that's going to wrap us up then. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please leave us a 5-star rating and a review. That's not on YouTube. What am I talking about? No, that's on audio. If you're on YouTube, leave a thumbs up and a comment. Don't forget to hit subscribe. But if you're on audio, that's where I was going. Don't forget to leave us that 5-star rating and review on audio. Let's see if I don't forget that this time. Don't forget to follow us on social. Facebook is We Are Auto. Instagram is WeAreAuto_. YouTube is We Are Auto. And our website is weareauto.io. So please do check it out and catch some of your favorite past races. So again, thanks so much. Catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.